As you know, Modi ji is coming to Mauritius after more than 10 years. His last visit was in 2015. So we have invited him, and Modi ji also invited our Prime Minister. And for example, during my last visit to India, in Odisha, I reiterated this invitation to the Prime Minister. But before that, our own government, through the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and all the ministers, we have invited the great Prime Minister of your country. So we are very pleased, extremely honored to have the presence of Modi ji in Mauritius. And for this very, very special occasion, as you know, we are a new government, spearheaded by two very charismatic personalities, our Prime Minister Navin Chandra Ramgoolam and the Deputy Prime Minister Mr. Paul Béranger, with a team of ministers. So in all, in terms of ministers, in terms of deputy ministers, we have a cabinet of 34 ministers, and so it is a team where there is a good mix of experienced ministers, but also new ministers, new faces. So I think it's a good blending. And of course, we are inspired by the great nations in terms of their governance. And obviously, India is a role model for us in many fields, in many areas. So I think this would be something very, very, very important for us in terms of all our sort of first visit of a great statement to Mauritius after the election. So this is very, very important.
So any special for welcoming of Prime Minister as whole cabinet is going to receive?
So you will see tomorrow at 6, before 6, all the 34 ministers will be at the Sir Sivasagar International Airport to welcome the Prime Minister with all the protocol, with all the pomp in a way. And I'm sure that not only ministers, but in spite of the fact that it is going to be early morning, around 6 in the morning, I'm sure many Mauritians, citizens of Mauritius, would be present to welcome the Prime Minister, because it is not every day that we have the visit of a man of such caliber. So I think the whole Mauritian population will pay tribute to your Prime Minister. It's not only the members of cabinet.
So what will be the focus point of the visit? What do you think, sir?
Yeah, you see, we, for so many years, India has been a sort of traditional ally of Mauritius. And now the new government, we are going to consolidate the already excellent relationship that exists between Mauritius and India, India and Mauritius. So we're going to consolidate that. And in fact, over and above the traditional agreement in multiple fields, when we look at the bilateral relationship between Mauritius and India, this time we're going to have a sort of enhanced program of cooperation. As you know, in matters of trade, in matters of commercial matters, we have the SIGPA. But over and above the SIGPA, we are going to have a strategic sort of partnership, which is, as I mentioned, a more enhanced partnership this time. And I'm sure the two prime ministers, I don't want to venture in their territories, but what we have been working on, especially the Prime Minister's office and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where I am, we have been working on many points, and I'm sure both prime ministers will be able to work out something great. Because in terms of our diplomacy, we always we are working in a compromised manner. So I'm sure it's going to be a win-win situation for India and for Mauritius. but not only for India and Mauritius. I think Modi ji, your Prime Minister, has the same vision, and Mauritius has the same vision as a non-aligned nation. And we want also to safeguard the interests of the whole world. So we want a very balanced approach. And in all the agreements we are going to ratify and sign, I'm sure you will find in it a sort of equilibrium, looking at the interests not only of two nations, two countries, but looking at the nations, at the interests of also other countries. And here I have in mind Africa. And as you know, Africa is a continent of tomorrow, of today